Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, because right now we have reached into a critical level of support here. And in fact, we have already potentially started breaking down from this level of support. However, this has not been confirmed yet, because we do have 55 minutes left on this candle here. And yeah, we would just need to see a little bit more price action, some candle closes below this to really confirm that this is lost as a level of support. Another important candle close is going to be this daily time frame for Bitcoin, which is going to happen in about 9 hours from now. And of course, if we close this daily candle inside the Fibonacci golden bucket, then there is still that possibility of just seeing this as a wick on the higher time frame, the 1 day time frame, and getting a bounce off of here. However, the next couple hours are going to determine what will happen here. And of course, the lower down we go in this range here, the less likely it is that we are going to hold this as a level of support on this daily time frame. However, one thing I do want to kind of point your attention towards here is that on this 1 hour time frame, we have now reached into oversold territory. And usually what you'll see, yes, of course, the RSI can go a little bit lower here, but usually what you'll see is that eventually the RSI kind of resets back down to around this 50 level. And of course, in the case that you don't know, typically the way the RSI resets is either with some choppy sideways price action, or in this case, since we are in oversold territory, potentially some bullish momentum in the short term. But of course, that is dependent on how these next couple hours play out. Another thing that I'm looking out for is this ascending triangle pattern that ended up breaking out to the upside. We caught a nice about 5% move to the upside here. However, I did say that if this pattern invalidates, then this price target of 67,000 US dollars is no longer active. And what we are seeing right now is that the price is basically exactly on this point of the breakout. Now, the way I think about these invalidations here is like, yeah, if it is right on top of the line, like it is right now, or it is slightly below, yeah, I think so. All of that is still fine, even if it is a big wick below, but you actually get the candle body above or on top of the line, that's also fine. But if you now start to see candle closes at 61.6, 61.3, stuff like that, then more likely it is the case that this pattern is then invalidated, and this price target is also invalidated in the case that happens, right? So that is just something that I'm watching on this 4-hour time frame as well. One other thing I noticed on this 1 day time frame is the RSI momentum indicator, which is basically right on top of this ascending trend line. And yeah, of course, if we get a candle close below this, it might indicate that we could get some more bearish momentum in the short term. So I would basically align this with the Fibonacci golden pocket as well, where if you start to see those confirmed candle closes below, potentially you see this RSI starting to break down below this ascending trend line on the 1 day time frame. Yeah, at that point, we are getting quite a few signals that are pointing towards the bearish direction. However, with everything that I talked about so far, I'm giving you these signals ahead of time. Like I said, all of these things are a little bit early, but I do want to tell you ahead of time of what I am taking a look at and seeing in the charts. Now, one other thing I noticed is this MACD indicator that so far has been quite accurate for us. Of course, I told you guys when this flipped into bullish territory, saying that, yeah, we should be expecting some more bullish momentum in the short term here. However, what we are now seeing, as I said in yesterday's video as well, is a decrease of this bullish momentum. So the bullish momentum is weakening as we speak, and this would be the second day that we get a decrease in bullish momentum. So this could be an indication for us that, yeah, this bullish momentum is going to continue to keep weakening here, but we are in this critical level of support. So again, you need to wait for that. Now, besides that, taking a look at the bigger support and resistance levels for Bitcoin, recently we got 2 back-to-back rejections from this big level of resistance that is sitting between 65,000 and 66,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. And after that, we fell right into this big level of potential support, sitting from 62.4K all the way down to 60,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. Now, the reason I haven't marked it in blue yet as a level of support is because this is now the first time that we are coming back down into this level after breaking it as a level of resistance, right? So now what I'm looking out for in this level right here is to see if we are actually getting a bounce from it, or if we just fall straight through this level once again. So it hasn't, in my personal opinion, been confirmed as a level of support yet, and therefore I am waiting with calling this a level of support until I see some kind of bounce out of here. Now, if you want to be able to profit, regardless of if we have bullish momentum or bearish momentum, by taking long or short positions, you can do that on the exchanges that I link to in the video description here. These are some of the top crypto exchanges that charge the lowest fees that I could find. For example, MEXC has some of the lowest fees in the crypto space. It is over 10 times cheaper to trade on MEXC compared to something like Coinbase. I personally trade on these exchanges, but also a lot of people inside my Discord community here trade on these exchanges as well. So go check this out and start trading with lower fees today. Now moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on this 1 week time frame, what we can see right here is that we took out quite a bit of liquidity to the upside at about 65,000 US dollars, and then we got some kind of reversal to the downside and started grabbing a bunch of liquidity here. And there's even liquidity as low as 58.5K, roughly speaking, on this time frame. Okay, so potentially if we now start losing more of this support, as I was talking about earlier, we could be coming down to grab all of this liquidity right here. However, if we zoom out to the 3-month time frame, basically all of that liquidity to the downside isn't even visible on this time frame here, and most of the liquidity, in fact over $7 billion worth of liquidity, will get liquidated if the Bitcoin price reaches 70.5K. So in my personal opinion, I do think that at some point we are going to take out this big level of liquidity here above 70,000 US dollars. Now, one side note to that is that we must keep trading inside this pattern for my base case to be valid here. So the base case is that we are going to take out this level at some point. However, if we now lose this descending channel as a level of support, so we trade in this case below about 52,000 US dollars, then I think it might be GG's and we will likely see more bearish momentum after that. But so long as we keep trading inside this range, I will continue to say that at some point we are going to take out this big level of liquidity. Lastly, taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. Yesterday, we saw a net inflow of another $200 million from these Bitcoin ETFs, which in my opinion, even though yes, we are seeing net inflows, the inflows are starting to get quite big now, so this might actually be bearish for Bitcoin because these Bitcoin ETFs get it wrong every single time, considering that we are now seeing massive inflows, and like I said, every single time they have gotten it exactly wrong. Like we saw massive outflows right here, massive outflows right here. We saw massive inflows right here. We saw massive inflows right here. So if we are now seeing massive inflows these last 2 days again, it might actually be a sell signal for a lot of people, right? So that is just something to take into consideration. That's psychology behind these inflows here. However, at the same time, I do want to reserve my judgment and say that we need to wait to see if we actually lose this level of support. However, for now, it is simply too early to say, and therefore I wanted to post this video telling you everything that I'm taking a look at so you can use that information as you like. Either way, this has been today's market update. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, so thank you very much if you can subscribe and help me with reaching that goal. Don't forget to go check out the exchanges that I mentioned earlier in the video, regardless if you do end up joining them or not. Thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.